In fairness to RTD, they are far from the only ones in Colorado struggling with how to fix our transportation problems.
Voters have consistently shut down tax hikes that would go toward improving our roads. And not that the projects we've already completed are much to brag about. Last month, Denver 7's Megan Lopez asked what we should do about our failing infrastructure, and you answered.
After our 360 report on the future of transportation funding, we received a lot of viewer questions that we want to try to answer. One of the most common ones was, doesn't the marijuana tax help pay for our roads? Here's Representative Matt Gray, who's the chair of the Transportation Committee.
And there's no part of marijuana tax revenue that is dedicated to roads and dedicated to transportation, or even available for it.
Some viewers also asked us about more cars being on the road and why that doesn't help with revenue.
It is true that more cars leads to more charges, registration fees, more gas tax, all of those things. But we also need more infrastructure to take care of them.
And they also cause more wear and tear. Now, vehicle registration fees and where CDOT gets all of its money from is another big question. The short answer is those fees go to a bunch of different places, including local governments and state programs. CDOT only gets a small part of its funding from those fees. Most of its money comes from the gas tax, which some groups want to raise, but opposition is already growing.
Ads in the mail, on the radio, at gas stations, letting people know.
What? Colorado politicians want to hike our taxes again?
It really bothered us because gas taxes disproportionately impact low-income communities the most.
Americans for Prosperity Colorado is behind the ads. They say state lawmakers just haven't been prioritizing roads.
We keep adding new fees, new programs, new everything, and they want to pretend like they're cash strapped. It's just not accurate. And they want the legislature to step up, do their job.
The whole very nature of them.
While all of this is happening, lawmakers are taking a closer look at public-private partnerships. A bill this session would add transparency to these deals. Take US 36, for instance. When that partnership was announced,
There was a lot of frustration because the details were all hashed out before anybody in the public had really access to them.
questions were raised again when part of the highway collapsed.
It became very confusing about, was CDOT responsible, was plenary responsible, who was responsible for the bill, and how are we justifying paying for this?
And transparency could help answer those questions and explain why tolls are set at a certain amount. These partnerships only part of the transportation funding puzzle as lawmakers grapple once again this session with how to pay for our roads. Megan Lopez, Denver 7.